Hello and welcome to Music at the Piano. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a piece called Gefühl der Wehmut, or Sad Feelings. First of all, I'll play the piece for the people who only want to hear the piece played. Secondly, I will talk about the key and the chords that are used and a little bit about the melodic structure for the people who already play the piece but are interested in knowing more about the key, the chords, and the melodic structure. And then last of all, which will take up most of the video, I'll show you how to learn this piece on your own or how to have some teaching tools if you're teaching this piece to someone else. So first of all, here we go with my playing this piece for you. You'll notice it starts off piano, and it has a little poco F here at this point and a poco F there, and it returns to piano. It's supposed to be adagio con tenerezza, which is adagio with tenderness. So here I go, 1 and 2. That was not my favorite sound on my hybrid digital. And also we have Muffy the cat, Muffy the Amazing Wonder Cat, joining in here. She may or may not join in again. Okay, 1 and 2. So those of you who only wanted to hear the piece are now welcome to hit like and subscribe and leave. Then the piece is in A harmonic minor. And the A harmonic minor scale, which I don't know if you'll be able to see this, I was trying to be clever and use colored pencil, is spelled out right here. So I don't know if I can zoom in on that, but it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. The natural minor scale does not have a G sharp, and over time composers have added a sharp on the 7th scale degree so that you get a major 5 chord. Okay, so then the primary triads in A minor are A, C, E, which is a minor triad, D, F, A, which is a minor triad, and E, G sharp, B, which in the harmonic minor scale is a major triad. And if you want a 5-7 chord, that means a 5 chord with an interval of a 7th above the root added, then you'd have E, G sharp, B, D. There are 2 other chords that Mr. Türk uses in this piece. One is a 6 chord, which is a chord built on the 6th degree of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is F. An F major triad, and I wrote that on a post-it note. No, I wrote it wrong. I wrote the 3 chord out. Well, let's just say I recently had knee replacement surgery and I've been on an amazing amount of drugs, so there's no telling what I could have written here. So F major is the 6th chord. It's down a 3rd from A. And the other chord is a flat 2. Now the 2 chord in A minor is B, and so the lowered is B flat, so it's a B flat major triad. B is a diminished, a minor 2 chord is actually a diminished 2 chord in A harmonic minor, and if you just put that there, you've got a B flat major chord. So the harmonic structure then, if you look at the piece, you're okay, you're all right, you're okay, you just want to be scratched. So there's an A and a C and an E in this measure, in the first measure. The F here is an upper neighbor tone. See how it goes E, F, E? So it's like you go next door to your neighbor and come back home. So that F is an upper neighbor tone, and the D is a passing tone between two chord tones, the C and the E. So A, C, E is the triad, one, or the chord, one chord. 5 chord, here you got an E and a G sharp and a B. The B is kind of extra long. Here you have a little suspension there. And I think that, don't quote me on that, but it's tied over there. I wasn't paying that much attention. And let's see, the C, so we got E, G sharp, B. The C is a passing tone between the B and the D. It's actually a 5/7 chord because there's a D there. I didn't think too hard about all the non-harmonic tones, so I'm not going to talk about all of them because I'll say the wrong name in my current state. A, C, E, the one chord, here's an A and a C and an E. The B is a passing tone. And then your 4 chord is D, F, A, D, F, A. And then here is your approach by a step and left by a leap. So I'll look that up and type it in the comments, which type of passing non-harmonic tone that is. Here you've got E, G sharp, E, G sharp, lots of E's and G sharps, which is the root and the third of the 5 chord. And then this measure has a lot of things in it, but some of them are chromatic notes. But you find an E and a G sharp. You don't find a B, but 2 E's and a G sharp, and these other notes are there. they're he's decorating with chromatically changed notes. And then here you got the A and the C and the not an E yet, but you have also some chromaticism here with the C sharp. And then here's your 6th chord, which is F, A, C, and the C is there, so it's all mushed together. And he might also be playing around with A major there, A, C sharp, and then changing it to A minor, and then your F, A, C, and then here there's a B flat and a D and an F. And here is the common cadential pattern, 1-6-4, E and A. The 5th chord factor of the A minor chord is in the bass. That makes it, you'll have to look that up somewhere else. I'm not going to talk about what those numbers mean. And then the 5 chord and then the 1. And this is actually a circle progression. 6, 2, 5, 1 is a circle progression leading to a cadence. So in this case, it's 6, 2, flat 2, 5, 1. So if you wanted to, you could actually play the melody of this chord this piece after you learned it, and harmonize it with just the chords if you wanted to have that kind of fun, which would be something like this. I'm going to use pattern progression for the 4 chords in that. Then when I get to the 6th chord, I'm going to try to play it in an inversion, so I can play the flat 2-6 chord in its proper inversion. That number 6 means first inversion, and then go with like that. We'll see if that works. Nope, it's just wrong notes. So that would be something you could do if you wanted, and also something if you wanted to play around with improvisation. I'm not going to try it now because my brain is not quite altogether returned from where I've been, medically speaking, but you could also use this chord progression and make up your own melody, or work with your student making up their own melody and get a little fun with improvisation. So that is, that's the scale and the chords. The the melodic structure is a pretty straightforward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. you have your first phrase here, and it's going to cadence on the dominant. So you'll have a feeling of not being finished, and then you cadence at the end on the tonic. So here's the first phrase. So that is the antecedent, and here's the consequence. All right, so if you only came for the piece and its harmonic structure, so long, glad you came. Please hit like and subscribe. Now, for the people who want to stick around and learn how to learn this, I would get the fingering first. I put the, I don't know if you can be able to see it or not, put the right hand fingering in blue pencil. I put finger 4 to start with, because in fingering you want to have as many notes under one hand shape as possible. So here, if you start on 4, you can get the next 5 notes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then here you're going to have to do a fancy crossover. So you go 2, 1, collapse your knuckle joint here so you can just pass your third finger over. 3, 4, 2. Now here you have a bit of a stretch. 1, 5, 4, 3. Now that phrase ends, so you can lift your wrist. 1, and then a really big stretch. 4, 3, 2. A little lift of the wrist for the phrasing. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 1. Or if you prefer, 1, 2, 3. So rewind and listen to that again if you need to. Then, depending on your comfort level, you would practice this somewhere between 5 and 20 times to get comfortable with the right hand and the right hand fingering. Now the left hand I put in green pencil, which may or may not show up. And I would start with finger 1, and then 2, then of course 2 again here, a little bit of a stretch to 3 on the E, 2 on the F, 4 on the D. Lift your wrist so you can move your hand to put thumb on the E and your octave. Lift your hand for the rest and move finger 3 up to the F sharp. Lift your wrist for the rest. 1, a little bit of a stretch because you're going to get all the way to 5 over here. Stretch finger 2 to F. Lift 3, 2, 2, 5, 1, 5. So after you get that fingering written in and practice it 5 to 20 times, then you want to put your hands together. But you might want to play around with playing one hand and tapping the other hand to get the coordination going between the hands. And before you even do that, you might want to, I'll play the right hand once and tap the rhythm with the left hand. You might want to tap the rhythm of the right hand along with me, and then I'll do it with the left hand. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. And then the left hand, 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2. Then you could play the right hands after you're comfortable with that. Play the right hand and tap the left hand. We'll see if I'll do it right. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2. Just kidding. A 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a This will be the tricky measure because you've got a quarter note which is equal to 2 eighth notes, except it comes in before that note, but it lasts with that note, and then you're together here. So again, this is and 1 E and a 2 and, like that. Then then I would tap it hands together. Take 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, now to play it hands together, you can either start at the beginning. I would do 2-bar sections. Now, if you've got your fingering figured out, you could do the last 2 bars. You could also do the first 2 bars, but I'm going to do the last 2 bars with the not the pickup. So I'll go 3 here, 2 there, 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. And then I'll add 1 measure. 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. And then I'll add the whole end here. 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. And then I'll add these 2 bars. 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2. And then I'll add the whole piece. 1 and 2. There you have it, Sad Feelings. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not already done so, please like and subscribe, and have a good day.